What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the right side of the map in the red color, playing as Hades. His name is Momo. His opponent today in the blue color, playing as Oranos. His name is Kvoth. It's a new series, it's a new me, it's a new you. Let's see how this game is going to go. We've got Oranos versus Hades in this first matchup. Kvoth being the Gaia player, Momo being the Hades Greek main. Luckily, we're still in best of 5, so you only have to play one civilization effectively to win if you so choose. If you are a Greek main, you only would have to play Zeus, Poseidon, Hades in order to win. If you're an Atlantean main, you can play Oranos, Gaia, Kronos and win. If you're a random god player, you can play whatever you want and win. That's how the cookie crumbles. But we have a game. We'll see how this is going to go. We do see that the Aurochs have been found by both players, or a board have been found. So it's a pretty high hunt map here. We've got ourselves Gazelle. We've got ourselves Aurochs over here. We've got ourselves Boar over here. So plenty of resources to use here. Now, the question really comes down to what strategy is Momo going to be going here in this game? There's plenty of different options here. For Hades, one town center play is really, really strong here. 2 town center play is really, really strong here. But it is very difficult to find wins against Oranos if you do the wrong thing. Because the Oranos player is going to hit all the timings and you're going to be in a difficult position. If you take a look at where the town centers are, this town center is going to be a liability of a town center in the later stages of the game if Momo decides to go for this one. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Momo try and grab this town center really early if he decides to go one town center and chuck sentinels up. The problem with this is it's fairly low herdables, and these hunt patches over here, he's not going to be able to grab if he goes to town center. So we'll see what Momo is going to decide to do here as he throws up a house over on this position here and make sure he doesn't get gold starved. 3 villages on gold seems like a lot if he's not going for 2 town center. So that seems to be his decision has been kind of already shown in this game to some degree here. Though he can definitely pick to do something else. It's just a little bit strange. Anyways, we do see the Khopesh of Horus here. It's a big relic for both civilizations, because like if Momo decides to go for Chimera, for example, then he's going to be able to lose. They'll get picked off fairly easily. And obviously, Kvoth is going to be wanting to make Promethean or Satyr or Stymphalian birds, Dryads, and those are going to get taken down easier as well. So definitely a relic you want to get grabbed there. Extra bonus damage against heroes. Very, very helpful. Sorry, extra bonus damage for heroes against myth units. Very, very helpful indeed. As the villagers coming over more so onto this hunt over here. I'm surprised to see him not split up the hunt, but I guess it makes somewhat sense because there's just so much here, and he would be better to eat the entirety of this hunt and then just retreat back to his base than otherwise. So we'll see how it's all going to shape up here. As the temple coming up on this position for Momo. Lots of things to see. We've got a fairly late advance time. No, are we going to see an early Ajax from Kvoth or not? Yes, we do. So we see the Ajax coming out nice and early. I tend to not like this anymore. I don't feel like this is a good strategy. I think that Atlantean players, if they are aware that you're a player that does this, or even if they just play around it, they can just send their oracles back here and just sit them on this location here and leave them inside of the manor. And then if the Ajax comes in, they pop it out, they cast Valor, they have their 3 heroes, they get their citizen. Your Ajax does nothing. We are seeing the relic getting grabbed. Or alternatively, they can just manually heroize their heroes in order to defend, get themselves their 3 Mamilo and Valor those, and then come over and defend as well. So there's that. And if we do check out what Momo's seen, Momo's got no idea where the hunt is. Obviously, he sees the boar over here. He sees the gazelle over here. So he should have an idea that there are aurochs over here because he's scouted his own resources fairly easily, fairly nicely here. And that's kind of what Momo's doing, scouting around this position. Unfortunately for Kvoth, he hasn't played around the early Ajax at all here. So we see Counter Barracks attempting to come up over here. And the villagers will get pushed off this Auroch here. We see the villagers turning around, shanking As the Oracle's searching around on this position. Where's the Promethean Offspring? Right there. Military barracks getting dropped on this position here. As, I mean, it frustrates me seeing Greek players get this advantage right now. Get this early game damage. Because it shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen. But Momo looks like he's going to be dropping a town center here fairly soon. Villagers getting pulled off of the gold. Minotaur coming up onto this position. We do see the Oracle scouting that one out here as well. As the Terma do pop out. Momilo coming through as well. And the Ajax will come back. So a little bit of early game damage done by Momo. But doesn't get a citizen pick. Doesn't get too much done. He does spot that the gold is getting grabbed on this position here. But the town center going up for Momo, and he's going to be happy about one. He does leave the boar here, not opting to grab that. Moving back into his base, going to be eating his chicken, throwing the walls down, and just playing very defensively here. So the question does come right now as to what is the best option for Kvoth to actually do in this matchup. What is the best option for Momo to do right now? And generally speaking, we see around about six military units for the Oranos, so a couple more. He's got himself 8 military units. He's still producing units, and then a town center or 2 for the Oranos. Now, if Kvoth stays 1 town center here, he's obviously going to be attempting to break through this location here and take the gold away from Momo, which is definitely an option here, considering how low food this is. And obviously, these military units here are going to be looking to try and prevent this hunt from being grabbed, which isn't being grabbed at all. But is he still producing Terma? Yes, he is. He's stopped producing Momilo at this moment. Kvoth is not making any Promethean here. So he's not going for a crazy all-in or anything like... Well, I mean, he kind of is, but he's not going for a crazy all-in by making all the Promethean and making all the Momilo. But he is still making those Terma out in order to find some damage. But at this point, there doesn't look to be that many options. Could break down this gate, push off these chicken. But the chicken are basically all eaten here. And Momo is going to be thinking about making some Hippocon and potentially some hoplites a little bit later here as the Promethean coming through. Looks like he wants to try and take down the boar. The boars are doofus. That's the micro away with those Promethean offspring. There is a weakness on this position here. Does Momo know about it? No, not Momo. Does Kvoth know about it? Well, he does now, so we'll see if he's going to be moving in to take these out. We do have the Ajax chilling in here with the Chiron that's popped out as well. Town center now coming down for Kvoth. Kvoth, will he go 1 town center or 2 town center? Right, or 3 town center. 2 town center or 3 town center here. I think the 3rd town center is generally the better option. You grab this one. Is there a relic over here? That's weird. I selected this and I could see the monkey head. Is that over here? It is. That's really weird. Really weird, but okay. So wall up now for Momo, and he's defended the early pressure of Kvoth. And the question is, is there really any reason to make units here? Answer, maybe no. Maybe no here. Momo can throw his farms down, get watchtowers up, and go heroic age, get access to curse, and be completely fine here, or go through Underworld if he so chooses, but effectively just go through Curse, go through Aphrodite, get Curse. He has an enemy in line to help defend, can start making units then. But we'll see how it's all going to go. He is throwing farms down on the forward town center, which while is more efficient, a little bit more dangerous, because Kvoth can just send his units in and push off these farms. It's 6 farms here, and he could, and realistically, Momo could have built these farms in his main base and not be losing a villager right now. As the units do push in, pick off 1 villager there. Nice play moving over here to try and push off this wood line here as well. As Momo in a little bit of a predicament here. There is Shockwave available. That's 3 villager kills there. Nice play from Kvoth. He does lose a hero Momilo for it, but he's going to be very, very happy about that raid. Now he's in the backside of Momo's base as Momo just happily still continuing to mine resources, gather resources, do everything he needs to do. But 3rd town center on the way for Kvoth. So Kvoth is playing this one in, I would argue, a correct fashion here. And we'll see if he's going to be able to make it work or not, as the Katoska boss scouting around, the army pushing in. We do see a shockwave over here pulling these villagers back. They will be able to drop into this sentry tower over here, but we're going to be seeing Kvoth attempting to block these ones out. He will have to retreat out of here. He's going after this final villager. He will pick that one off and then retreat back. Nice picks here. 43 villagers for Momo, 16 for Kvoth. 16 times 3 though. You have to always get that kind of times 3 because they do gather about 2.5 times faster than the vanilla villagers, but kind of times by 3 is the safer bet in terms of actual gather rate because of no walking time. As we see the Hippocons getting taken out, and Kvoth retreats back home here. As we see Momo motoring ahead, and there's the armory. Looks like he's decided, yep, time to just go heroic age. This is something that Kvoth did against Miracle, where he went roughly 70 population in terms of army and then cut units and just went heroic age. And he baited in the full population Miracle push, and it just wasn't able to do anything. So we'll see if Kvoth is going to make a different decision based on what he sees. Is he still producing units? Yes, he's still making Terma. Yes, he's still making Murmillo. So he's going full population, full send here. As we see the Terma coming back in onto this position, going straight onto this wood line. The villagers here have not been pulled, so a couple of villagers will get taken out here. One goes down. The villagers are getting very angry, looking to shank back, trading one Terma for a villager. Fairly worth it there, as the Terma are going to be getting out. We do see a little bit of a raid coming on into this position here as Kvoth is out in the middle of nowhere. Kvoth does like to jump onto secondary gold lines really, really early in the game, but he is getting punished because of it. As the units come in to try and defend this location over here, the Terma coming back in onto this position. We'll be able to pick off this villager yet again. Taking that villager out is so brutal. He's lost that villager twice on that farm. As we see another villager going down here, as Kvoth is kind of all over Momo at this point, pushing back this army here. The villager back onto this gold mine. The army trying to retreat through here. Is there a path block? Not really. Going to be losing a Hippocon though. As up on this location, we see the Katoskopos still scouting around, not able to find all too much just yet. Momo able to advance very, very soon here, but Kvoth is now at 144 of 145 population. He's going to be skyrocketing up towards the heroic age himself here, as the farms starting to get dropped. Kvoth's got plenty of wood in the bank to drop these farms as well. So he's kind of macroing this one pretty well. If we take a look at the economic upgrades, he's got himself no plow just yet. Is he researching it? No, doesn't look like it. So a bit of a mistake there from Kvoth, but it doesn't matter. There's the plow now coming through, and he's going to be hitting the heroic age in arguably the same time that Momo will be. But Momo should be okay though. He should be fine. He does just need to defend, so it's okay for him to catch up on the population a little bit later, especially because he's going to be going through Aphrodite here. Nope, he's going through Apollo, so a little bit risky. A little bit risky as the army, he knows that there's going to be a 145 population army Thea coming through, so no assistance where that's concerned. And Momo is on that secondary gold mine. It's 800 gold left in his main base, so he is going to be getting a little bit more gold than he otherwise should be getting. There's a stable going to be coming through. And we'll see how this pressure is going to mount here, as Kvoth his resources are crazy high right now. Is he going to go straight to the Mythic Age? Generally speaking, that's what we see here. Still no upgrades on his units. I would like to see medium infantry at the very least right now. And Kvoth maybe throwing down a palace down, getting prepared to put a palace on this town center to make sure he doesn't allow Momo to get access to that one. As we do see the units pushing in onto this position, there is a restoration available for Momo. He might want to consider casting that here, as the unit's going to be pushing in, taking down those Toxotes, moving the Terma into the back here to take those out. Nice job to do that one there, but the Toxotes are all falling. Restoration gets dropped down here, and Kvoth is going to decide to pull back after that restoration is dropped. He could potentially continue fighting this 100 population to 145 population, so a significant advantage in terms of military here for Kvoth. So I'm surprised he does decide to retreat away as he does continue this fight. I mean, these are very, very high quality units here. Aegis Shield coming through for Momo as well to help his hoplites out, as Manticore does pop in here right now, as Momo's now at 130 population, and Kvoth throwing the market up in the corner. There is a cheeky hyena here to say, I really am not long for this world. Let me just die here by picking a fight with a villager. As the market going to be going up, we've got some side builds coming down for Momo as well, as Kvoth will have spotted that with his citizen as he does move over into the corner here to throw these walls up. And now Momo has to retreat back. Sorry, Kvoth has to retreat back as Momo is putting the pressure on. And Kvoth getting himself out some Dryads. He's going to be very, very late to the Mythic Age. I thought he was going to be thinking about a Mythic Age considering he didn't get any tech. But now he has his medium infantry out, getting himself fortified town center. Shockwave getting dropped in onto this fight here. The Stymphalian bird going after the Manticore in the back here. This Chiron getting a lot of value here, able to snipe down the Stymphalian bird here. As the Arcus Murmillo coming through for Kvoth. Heavy infantry coming in as well for Kvoth. Momo's got plenty of resources though. Momo's going to be super happy about the position he's managed to find himself in. He's able to fight. He's got plenty of resources. He's got medium infantry. He's going to continue to push in, but it does look like Kvoth is going to win the long drawn out fight here with defender's advantage. Another Stymphalian bird going to be coming in onto this position here. More units pumping in. We see that Momo has to retreat back, but Kvoth is now pretty much stuck in this heroic age as Momo pulls back. Momo not going to be able to get this town center though anytime soon, it would seem. Kvoth pulls back just a little bit. He might want to cancel all of his production here, which it looks like he's doing, and go next stage, dropping down a farm on this location to get as much food economy as he possibly can. And he will be clicking up. So which god is he choosing? He's going through Hecate. It's a slightly late Hecate at 16 minutes and 30 seconds, but he will get that one up significantly faster than Momo will, as we do see the Underworld coming in onto this position here for Momo, hitting this gold mine. How many citizens are in here? Just 3. So it's not that big of a deal here, and the army will manage to come up onto this position. But what Momo is doing with this is really, really smart. He's casting the Underworld, putting the pressure on, and getting his town center behind it. So getting, so kind of misplacing Kvoth's army here in order to get his town center up. That's really, really smart here. He's going to be able to be in a fantastic position, going to be able to retreat back out of it, getting a couple of picks off on these units that hit this location a little bit faster. And we do see the villagers getting taken out here as well. The Arcus doing some good damage in the back here by Kvoth, but this town center will be up, and we still not seeing Momo needing to retreat back. But the question is, where do we see the Underworld, or not the Underworld, the Tartarian Gate getting dropped? And I think the answer would be on the Underworld Passage here. Would make a lot of sense here. But he's going to be searching around with these champion terminal, looking for something to target down. Where is he going to drop it? I think the Underworld Passage is the best because the units are out of position here in a big way. As the Terma moving around, Hecate's at 90%. As the town center is up, and Kvoth able to push back against these units here as the Terma is going to be making its way in here, and the Tartarian Gate will get dropped onto this position here, taking down the Underworld Passage, hitting this gold mine, hitting this town center. The units are going to be out of position, trying to retreat away. They're all going to get taken down here, it would seem, here as they make their retreat right through the army of Kvoth. So Kvoth gets a big advantage here, but that's the Tartarian Gate going to get taken down very, very fast. We do not have masons through just yet for Kvoth, so this Tartarian Gate not the biggest of issues, as Ajax does come through to try and tank these Tartarian spawns, but the Tartarian Gate will end up falling. The question is, will Kvoth be able to put the pressure on or not? How many destroyers does he have? Only 1 destroyer in his army, so he's not going to be able to take this town center down easily at all. Momo's got himself fortified town centers. He's getting himself his gold mine back. He's got himself his 3 heroes out. He's at 160 population basically here. And Masons coming through for Kvoth too late, it would seem here, as the Chiron does end up getting taken down. But Kvoth needs to find somewhere else to be attacking here, as we do see a handful of Haspers coming out here as well. Going to look for some raids onto this location here. As we do see the temple getting taken out on the front as well. The army coming forward for Momo, as the army here for Kvoth, they do spot these units. We'll pull back. You see the temple dropping here. Monkey Head and Kopach of Horus do get dropped here. And Kvoth going to attempt to take this fight as best as he can. See the Titan's actually coming through Kvoth as he's rushing that instead of getting upgrades. We haven't seen this in a while. We'll see if it's going to be working out for him. Momo's still not even in the Mythic Ages. He is desperately going to be attempting to do so. The question is going to be, where were the Hesperid's trees? Right here. He might not be able to cast Earthquake on that Tartarian Gate, or not Tartarian Gate, Titan Gate, but it doesn't matter because Hephaestus, the god of choice here for Momo, as Kvoth is going to be doing his darndest to get to the Titan gate and get that Titan out to get some serious damage done onto his opponent. And I mean, we've seen Greek players defend Titans time and time and time again with Heliopoli, with their Greek heroes. But of all of the Greek civilizations, Hades is the worst, because Zeus has got access to Bellerophon, which is a quick Mythic Age hero which can deal a ton of damage. Poseidon's got Polyphemus, which just does tons of damage to the Titan, and Hades only got Perseus, and Perseus just not the best at dealing with a Titan at all, as we do see the Titan gate is getting thrown down. We've got the Hesperids trees over here to get the god power blocking in, but there's no earthquake coming in either way here in order to deny this Titan gate. But while this is going on, the pressure is still mounting, and Momo's at 110 population here as the units are continuing to stream in onto this position. This is not looking good for Momo at all in this game here. As heavy archers coming through for Momo, he's trying to get the technologies out. He's trying to get the units out. He's got this fortress out, which is going to be falling fairly soon, so it's not even going to be able to get the Heliopoli through here. We see the couple of units coming over here to deal with these Hypaspis that have been produced, as they're going to get taken down. It's a bit of an overcommitment there from Kvoth, but he's going to be sending his units forward nonetheless here, as Kvoth has got next to no resources in the bank. Going to be attempting to push through using those archers to shoot from afar here, as the Mythic Age does hit now for Momo. He gets his Plenty Vault. He's going to be having himself the Colossus to come out here as well, as the archers here need to be focusing down these units. The Hypaspis pushing in onto this position here as well, and we'll see if this Hades army can make any ground here, as more units swinging through from the top of the map. And Kvoth does decide he needs to retreat just a little bit, trying to get some fire siphons. I don't think he needs to think about fire siphons. I think fire siphons might be a bit of a mistake here, because he's got the Titan coming. That's his siege. He doesn't need a siege weapon. He's going to want to save those resources to build military buildings and just get more units out to pick off the enemy units here in order to really push through. As we do see that those Hypaspis are tanking nicely. How are the armory upgrades looking? Fairly non-existent for both players here, as this Fire Siphon is looking awfully silly right now. Kvoth here, 138 of 160 population. He's falling very fast here against what Momo has constructed. So Kvoth going to be retreating back. Obviously, Kvoth is he's got 13 citizen currently on this Titan gate, so just not enough resources, not enough income to really support this fight that he's currently having with Momo, because Momo's got basically 90 villagers gathering right now. Oh, 95 villagers with the 5 donkey caravans that he's got out here. The Fire Siphon going to move in and try and take down the Colossus. He does get a little bit of bonus damage. Not bonus damage, but does a little bit more damage against the Colossus than you might think. He does about 20 damage a shot, which is a decent amount, I guess. As the Titan just about to pop out here for Kvoth, and Momo has to pull back, but the palace has been dealt with. Do see these military academies on the front getting dealt with as well, and Kvoth now moving villagers forward to try and potentially put some forward pressure on with palace and with side builds and all the good stuff that comes from that. As now the army moving, we see the Titan moving in as well. The villagers back onto their resources here. If we take a look at the economic upgrades, no flood control, no carpenters, no quarry, but a Titan is out. And things get very tense here for these players right now, because the question is always going to be, how does Kvoth's Titan work in this game? He's getting himself Mythic Rejuvenation as well. That works on the Titan, so you can't physically heal the Titan with a Caladria, but the Mythic Rejuvenation for some reason works on the Titan. You can see it says can't be healed. Well, it should say can't be healed here, but nope, doesn't actually say can't be healed, but can't be healed, but can be healed by Mythic Rejuvenation for whichever reason. So, I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily a bug or just like not really thought about by the developers or intended. The Titan going to be moving in here to try and take down this town center pretty quick. I would actually go after the Toxotes here and the military academy if I was Kvoth, because his army is just not going to cut it here just yet. But it does seem like the town center will fall nonetheless very, very quickly. Obviously, 7,000 HP is a lot. as the fortified town center does end up going down. The Toxotes moving forward for Momo here. Town center is out. The army going to be moving forward. I never understand people's thought processes with the Titan. Yes, you killed the town center, but this is where the resources are. Take these units out. We see bronze mail, bronze shield, burning pitch, and the towers coming through. As Momo is basically just going to be ignoring the enemy units. Where'd those citizens go? The citizens are over here on this gold mine now. As the gold mine does get pushed off over here, there's villagers on this gold mine. There's Toxotes over here as well. The army pushing through onto this position here. We've got some dryads coming in here as well. The fortress does get taken out before a Heliopoli comes through. And now where to for the Titan is going to be continuing to take down the military production here. You can go after this town center over here. We do have Perseus, Ajax, and Chiron queued up right now as Momo's just not losing units in order to get the population space to produce those heroes. You do see some cheeky attempted ghost buildings here from Momo, but it's just not going to be enough. The Titan gets in and going to start breaking down this town center as Perseus is desperately wanting to come out here in order to deal some damage. As the units are getting picked off, Momo is getting himself iron weapons, iron shields, coinage. We see a palace coming down on the front here. We've only got the bronze shields, copper shields, copper mail here. So first line of upgrades. Not going to be enough here, it would seem. As the fortified town center does get taken out, and now Momo is down to one town center here as the Titan needs to retreat away. Now, if you don't have army, all you need to do is get some army in with this Titan, and you can kind of do some good damage as we see the villagers retreating away here as the army pushing in onto this position. So this means no gold income right now for Momo, but he does have 1,300 gold in the bank as the palace getting put onto this position over here. The raid's still coming forward here for Momo onto Kvoth's gold position over here. These Toxotes are actually continuously picking off Arcus over here, so they're getting some good damage done as Kvoth is not paying attention. The town center is attempting to get thrown up. You've got military units here. You can take down these heroes now, so that's what he's going to be doing right now as Kvoth gets his palace up on this position. You should put a palace down over here as soon as you can, so he's going to slowly move forward here with his palace, but he does have the advantage in this position, so he's going to take out these heroes nice and quick. As the military production going down, Momo's gold is slowly but surely getting picked off as we see a fortress getting thrown up on this position. Momo's back up to 2 town centers now as well, but it looks like the villager hiding away in the palace right now, but we've got the palace helping out against these Arcus as more units pushing in onto this position to finish those off, and the system can come back to getting this palace back up as the Titan does spot the fortress going up, stamps his feet, and sends those villagers running. But a Heliopoli now coming through, or 2 Heliopoli now coming through to deal with this Titan, as Momo was doing his darndest to hold on in this game against the devastating presence that is a 5,000 HP Mythic Rejuvenation Titan here, as the fortress goes up and immediately goes down here. Still no gold really being gathered for Momo, but I don't think he really cares. He's got 7 donkey caravans doing work here as we see some raids now coming onto the donkey caravans to put a stop to the gold income. The palace almost up over here as Kvoth's Titan going to be retreating back just a little bit here to get access to his army. And you can definitely just use your Titan here to kill off enemy units. Look at the damage that happens here. Half HPs, all of those units here. Starts going after the rest of these units. If you can do the stamping animation, he does so much damage with that one there. Picks off these units beautifully here. He does not need to retreat this Titan. Just continue to fight this. Let this army pick off those high value heroes as well, and then he's going to be completely fine. But the Heliopoli, they do a decent amount of damage. Yes, Siege are some of the best units against the Titan here, because they deal crush damage. 17 crush damage per second is against 89% crush armor, means it does a decent amount of damage to them, and that's also 3 projectiles of 17 crush damage per second here. As the Titan going to be retreating away yet again, trying to get in onto this position and take these guys down. Not only that, but the Titan just doesn't do that much damage against the Heliopoli, funnily enough. The units are indeed falling here as Kvoth still not quite able to get in here and build the palace that he needs on this position to grab this town center and get a 4-2 town center advantage. He's got three of these palace right in the middle here, but not quite working for him, as he's going to be sending his Titan into the main base of Momo here and try and take down this town center yet again. But this is just going to allow the Titan to get picked off fairly easily. We do see some Arcus coming over onto this position. One tower is up. The village is going to be getting picked off fairly fast. The Momo's dropped down to 129 of 140 populations. The Arcus pull off this location to go after the donkey caravans. A handful of units getting produced now by Momo as a house gets dealt with there, pushing Momo down to 130 population. As the town center is the next target here. But we've got two Heliopoli, we've got a Colossus, we've got an Achilles here. The town center will go down, but at what cost? At what cost indeed? As now Kvoth is getting himself champion archers. He's still only at full hopper here, so tier 1 upgrades, whereas Momo's at tier 3 upgrades. So his unit's dealing tons of damage here, and the town center will go down. Obviously, Momo's a little bit short on resources here, so he's not going to be able to build this back up too easily. So maybe this was a good decision by Kvoth. So we see these stray units trying to take down the military academies that's thrown up over here. Stray units moving up to try and attack these gold villages over here. Another palace coming down on this position. Just put it on top of this. Put it here, nice and close. That's the Titan going to be retreating away. 2,000 HP remaining here as it's going to be trying to get out of this position. The villagers getting a little bit of blocking action happening here as the Titan does end up managing to escape. Momo does not have the resources just yet to get that town center up. Where's the citizen? Looks like the citizen has garrisoned yet again into the palace to stay safe. As the units pushing forward more and more, we do see some citizen have been taken down. Kvoth should be fine here. He is producing llama caravans, so he's got a trade route, so he shouldn't be too worried about that there. As the Achilles will end up getting taken down here fairly fast. The Titan might want to swing back around and go up the town center again, I guess. As the palace does end up coming through here. You can use that citizen to actually start shanking if he wants to. So making Arcus at this point doesn't make a whole lot of sense because there's just no... Making just melee units is kind of everything here, I would say. As Momo is somehow, some way holding here and in fact pushing back at this point, as the Titan's still sitting in this army getting some good damage done, helping out in this position. We're starting to see some raids coming through here. Going to look to get onto this gold mine over here as the Titan does decide to make the wander up. Maybe going to go after this town center up here as an option instead. But Kvoth's just not able to hold. He's just not able to make anything happen in this game with his Titan. He's killed off two town centers. He hasn't managed to grab this town center for himself. He's losing citizen over on this position here. And there's no real gold left for Kvoth to gather from. He does have 17 llama caravans. So there is that, as we do see a fire siphon coming out here. And it's just the difference in army quality here is just too big. So you basically need this Titan in the army here to actually fight. Click on the unit. Click here. Click. Yes. Big damage done. Boom. All the dead Toxotes. Look at the damage the Titan does. We're still seeing more pressure over here. What else can Kvoth really do right now to try and win this game is the big question. As the Titan going to be roaming down to the bottom side, he could go after these villages on this gold mine. He has put a stop to the trade route in the corner, but the trade route is still happening. Where's the market? The market's here. Okay. So the fortress over here getting taken down as the Titan makes his way over there to deal with that one. But while that's happening, Momo's going to be able to continue putting pressure over here. Momo does have only 30 gold in the bank, which isn't a lot at all. As the citizen do make their way back over onto this this gold mine here. As the villagers pop off of that gold mine, the fire siphon going to be attempting to retreat away, but it does look like it's basically taken down here as the Chiron trying to distract a little bit, but Kvoth doesn't get fooled there, as this fanatic is possibly going to be able to kill off all those villagers. If he'd actually microed a little bit onto the low HP ones, he probably would have won that fight there, but does end up falling as the army is continuing to push through here. Kvoth's Titan going to move in onto this this Toxotes ball, and dead. All the Toxotes fall. Beautiful play there from Kvoth to be aware of that there, but unfortunately now he's going after the Chiron, and the Chiron takes next to no damage here. As There's a whole bunch of villagers moving forward for Momo. Going to look for the gold mine down here, I would guess. Handful of units coming through for Kvoth back onto this town, back onto this gold mine yet again. As Momo is still managing to hold 130 population here. As the Chiron coming forward, and this game is just going on, is it not? As Kvoth might actually find this gold position over here, or this wood position over here. Not yet finding it. He's looking up to the top, throwing up a military academy on this position here. And we do see that the market has been found as Kvoth is continuing to find weaknesses in Momo's position here. But Momo is just heavily pushing through this middle position. And I think Momo might even be able to grab this town center fairly soon here. As he's tearing down the palace, tearing down the barracks, all the good stuff's happening. We do see that the Titan coming in onto this position here. Momo's going to have to retreat those villagers, otherwise he's going to be losing them as they do get bashed in here. I think there might be... Does this have less damage against villagers or something? Special attack Shockwave does 60 hack damage against those units. So the special attack Shockwave is a thing, I guess. But does get pushed back here as the palace ending up going down in the middle of the map here. The Stymphalian birds doing good damage from afar here, from above. And Kvoth decides in this moment that he just does not have the ability to get army quality back. He is at 160 of 160 population, but he decides to retreat. He decides to resign here with the advantage in town centers, the advantage in army, not advantage in army, advantage in population. He just cannot fight against this fully teched up army. And honestly, I think this is just because he didn't realize that his Titan works really, really good against human units. He was just continuously retreating away from the human units. Could have used his Titan to push this forward instead of fighting poorly, trading poorly, and then he could just push in and grab this town center because he's not wasting all the units. He'd get his technologies through, so his army is going to be a bit better. Just a little bit of an unfortunate usage of the Titan here in this game, and Momo steals game number 1 here. Pretty crazy game. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.